Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss, and today we're going to be looking at a product that a lot of you have been recommending I give a try. I've seen them in the coloring groups, I've heard you talking about them, and I had to purchase them and see what they are like for myself. So today we're talking about Arrtx 126 color set. We're going to do an unboxing, swatching, first impression video, and see what I think of these color pencils that everybody is so excited about. So let's get started. All right, this is the box, and I've got to say it's awfully cute. I'm really excited to see how the system works. It came bubble wrapped, and so I'm really hopeful that it survived Amazon shipping. Speaking of Amazon, I got my set of Arrtx color pencils for $28.55. I think it said something on the Amazon page that it was an overstock closeout that they're doing, so that's good. Or not a closeout, but an overstock sale. It says that regularly the box is $55.99, so at $28.55 for this set, that's a really good value, especially for a hobby level type color pencil. So I'm excited about that. They also had a 72 set, which was $25.99. So for $3 more, I got the whole set, which is really cool. So let's open this up and see what these are like. I've heard that they are really nice, like similar to a Prismacolor pencil. So I'm excited to feel them for myself and see if I agree with that. A video we could do in the future, if you are interested, would be a head-to-head Prismacolor versus Arrtx. So if that's a video you would like to see, just comment below. As I said before, we are not a sponsored channel, so I purchased this product with our own money, and I'm excited to give you my honest opinion on how they work. Okay, so the box, you saw I already kind of slipped it open a little bit. It says it has saturated colors, soft core, artist quality, and the back has some swatches on it. It says that the cores are 3.8 millimeters. That's the same size as what Prismacolors are, so that's a good, healthy color pencil. And it says it's break resistant, easy to blend, richly saturated, and a wide range of colors. And like I said, this is coming in from China. Okay, so the lid comes off like that, and we have all these pretty pencils. Oh, it's two boxes. It's a nice sturdy cardboard box that they're standing in, and it looks like it's foam down inside with little holes for each pencil, so that's really nice. The order that they come in is not very helpful. I prefer my pencils to be in color wheel order, and it looks like they just kind of randomly put them all together in here. Although we've got the fluorescents together, and there's some violets together, so maybe there was a little thought in how they were organized. We've got a little card here that says thank you and some contact information. But that's it for any kind of literature. I did notice when I was on Amazon that they had a link that said product documentation, so you might want to look for that. It was you had to scroll way down, and there was a product documentation with a PDF, and this is the PDF that came out when I clicked on that, and it's a swatch chart. I'm not going to be swatching on this because I want to see it in my book on my paper, but I'm curious to see if they're in the same order as what the box is. Cream, lemon yellow, light yellow. So yeah, they're sort of following, it looks like they're following that order. It's a goldenrod, yellowish gray, pastel blue, cloud blue, and then to helio turquoise light. Is that this one here? Yeah, okay, so that's good. I can use this chart here to make my own swatch chart. So that's good. Let's take a look at one of the pencils and see what they look like. I'm going to grab a violet. This one right here. We've got some fun little stars and dots along the edge, and then we have a barcode, and then at the other end it says a number. We've got several numbers, ACP-00, a long code number, and then I think the color number starts with the AT, and then it has a name. And it's in metallic writing, so it's tricky to read, and it's quite small letters. I prefer, if they had done the color name with that font there, that would have been way better. That's what the other side of the pencil looks like. The back end of the pencil's been covered with some paint, so we can't see if the pencil is centered or not, but I'll be paying attention to that as we go through and do the swatching. So I'm going to be swatching today in this book right here. You've seen me use this book before. This is Swatch Bliss Volume 1, printed on color pencil paper. So I'm going to go through, write down all the color names so that the swatching can go as easily as possible. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I think I've got the chart all ready for swatching, and the very first color we get to swatch is white. And for that, I have colored in the square with some alcohol marker, some black alcohol marker, so we can see what white looks like on a dark background. So here is my very first coloring experience. And usually when I swatch, I do heavy pressure on the left, and then I taper off to really light pressure on the right. That's typically what I do. You can see up here with these color pencils that's what I did. Okay, so we got the first one. Next one is 080. Oh, these numbers are terrible to read. It looks like 4 zeros rather than a 0080 on this metallic pencil. Oh, I hope this isn't a sign of what is to come. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and get some swatching going. There's the silver. This is gold, I believe. Yeah, shall we see if they're shiny? Really quick, I'll move them in the light, and we'll see if they're shiny. Oh yeah, there's some shine. They're a little crummy. I don't know if all the pencils are going to be crummy like that, but the silver and the gold has some shine to it, so I'm excited about that. Okay, let's cue the music montage and enjoy some swatching beauty. Well, I made a mistake in my swatching book that I have to fix. When I was filling out the numbers, 4212, I hate it when I make mistakes. 4212, there it is, right there, 4212. Then I should have gone down to 4222, and I went back up to 4139. Right there is my mistake, and I just knocked over my pencils. It's a good test of this, to knock them over and see if they stay in their little slots, which they did. Oh, that's good. I'll take everything as a test, right? Even mistakes. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than renumbering everything, is I'm just going to cross out the ones that I duplicated. 4154, 4170, 4170, 4171, 4188, 4201, 4212. So all of these are duplicates. And now I can just start again right here. That's easier than me trying to rewrite all the numbers. We'll just skip those squares, and even I make mistakes. I make them so often. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, back on to 4222. It does bring me to an important point. I have been checking the number on the pencil every time to make sure I'm swatching in the right square, and it's really hard. I'm already feeling really angry at how small they wrote those color numbers. That's just really unfortunate. My poor eyes. Okay, let's get back to swatching. Okay, I'm done with the swatching, and I've been doing some blending, as you've seen, some 3-color blends. This is following Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, which can pretty much blend almost any trio of colors together and they'll look seamless and beautiful. But what I was testing for here was how easy is it to do Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. Some pencils are just super easy, and others you have to really force and push the pigments together to get that nice blend. Now what I'm doing is I'm sharpening up the 6 pencils because I'm curious to see how well they sharpen. I'm using my X-Acto School Pro sharpener today, which I use for all of my pencils lately. And they're sharpening up really nice. They look really centered. As I was swatching, I didn't come across even one pencil that I felt was off-centered. Okay, they sharpen up beautifully. Let's see if they can hold their point. Yeah, it's holding its point good, and I'm doing medium to heavy pressure, and that point didn't break. Let's try another one. The crumbs are a bit of an issue. You can see here on the red. I'll bring it up to camera here for you to see. And it seems to be hit or miss. Some pencils are just no crumbs at all, and then others are extra crummy. And crumbs can be a problem when it comes to coloring because they can, that tip broke just a tiny bit, but not bad. The crumbs can pollute or get into other coloring areas, so it's important to note crumbs. Are these excessive crumbs? I don't think so. I think I've used crummier pencils before, but there you can see the crumbs for yourself and decide if that is a problem for you or not. Okay, I'm trying to think if there was any other tests I wanted to run really quick before I give you my final opinion on the Arrtx color pencils. Okay, so let's do a look at the swatches and review all of my first impressions on these pencils. First off, let's look at the balance of the colors. I think overall they're quite vibrant and fun colors. We've got a lot of yellows, we've got a lot of blues and blue-greens, a few like skin tone type colors here, and then we move into the oranges and reds. There's a decent amount of violets. I'm trying to see too if there's like a light, medium, and dark of every color. For instance, if we did a red-violet combo, we could probably put that color together with maybe that as the mid-tone and maybe that one as the dark. So there's a good trio. There's a lot of greens. I felt like there was a lot of greens. And I'm trying to see if there's a good light, medium, and dark green. Maybe like that, light, medium, and dark, or light, medium, dark. So yeah, there's some options there to get some good blending trios. These colors here are more like a tone of the dark of the colors. So we've got a color with some gray in it, and those are some really pretty colors there. Some nice neutral brown colors. A few grays, although they're kind of hit or miss. I would have rather liked to have seen like a full list of grays. So like 3 cool grays and 3 warm grays, something like that, rather than having just a couple here and there and this like odd gray color and an odd blue gray color. And then the fluorescents are really fun. There was a few colors that I felt like the pencil outer shell of the pencil didn't match the core very well. This is really difficult to do, and so I'm being a little picky here on this. It's important for them to get as close to it as possible, but there was one color that really stood out as being off, and it was this one right here, number 5005. I think it's this one. When I picked up the pencil, I thought I was going to get some sort of light green ivory type color, but it came out this kind of weird green, like almost a two-tone, like it needed to be sharpened, cleaned up a little bit. Yeah, you can see how much greener the core is compared to the outer paint job on the pencil. So there were a few like that, not a ton that I was like, oh, this is really terrible. So that's just being really picky at this point. Let me see my other notes. The color balance of the set I think is really good. If you got this set, I think you would find a lot of good blending combinations and feel good about your coloring that you can achieve with a good light to a medium and a dark in almost every color on the color wheel. So that's really good. We've already talked about Crumbs, the centered pencils. They all seemed very centered, and they sharpened up really nicely in my electric sharpener with no problems, so that's good. We talked about the exterior of the pencil not matching the interior. One of the things that I can't get over is how terrible the labeling is on the pencils. They should have used a bigger font. And of course, I'm anti-metallic print on pencils. I think you just need to do a straight up black on these pencils, and that would have been much better for us that have a hard time reading that tiny little metallic print. It's just almost a deal breaker for me on these pencils. Comment below if you own them. Does that tiny little writing, especially of the color number, give you a problem? Because it was giving me a problem when I tried to find the light, medium, and dark blue and this combination of yellow to red. I wanted to find those specific pencils that I had swatched, and it was really hard for me to read that tiny lettering in order to find them. The feel of the pencils is very interesting. I kind of feel like they're a cross between Polychromos and Prismacolor. They feel creamy but also buttery smooth at the same time, so I quite enjoyed the feel of the pencils. I don't feel like they were overly gritty, or I didn't run into like some sandy feeling that makes you just not want to color with them. And really it was this one weird pencil here, the number 5005 pastel green, that was coloring out weird with those two-tone type effect. I think it's just that one pencil has a bit of an issue. So if I were you, I would definitely use the Amazon link and get the product documentation, as they called it, so that you can have a good swatch chart and print it out onto some nice high quality paper so that you can get the best swatch possible, so that you can find the right colors when you're coloring. And this chart is awesome because it already has the color name and color number both there. Although it's really small print, but it's really nice to have it all on one page so you can scan the colors quickly and not have to go through multiple pages. The blends I did, they turned out good. I think they're pretty, don't you agree? And I used Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, so and I'm on the really good color pencil paper here, so I gave it the best advantage possible, these pencils. I feel like they didn't layer as good as a polychromos, and they didn't lay down as thick and juicy and beautiful as a Prismacolor, but it was somewhere in between those two is what I was feeling as I was practicing these two blends right here. The box. Let's have a little discussion about this box. Because I was excited to try a different system. You know, we have pencils in tins, we have pencils in boxes, just a normal cardboard box. We have pencils in cases. So this was kind of a gimmick to try putting the pencils into another configuration. I know these companies must be trying really hard to stand out from one another, and so that's probably why they tried for this box idea, but I am not a fan. They were really difficult to get in and out. The very front row was manageable, but as you're moving into the back row and the middle row, there's 3 rows here, it got harder and harder to pull them out easily and put them back in without any problem. And you pair that with the fact that it's really hard to read the color numbers on the pencils. The swatching was a bit of a chore. So I don't like the box. I think they would have been better served to put them into a zip-up case. They would be beautiful in a zip-up case. I don't know how much of their budget went into this kind of box system. But going forward, if I were to use these pencils full-time with my coloring, I would definitely get them out of this box ASAP and into a zip-up case, which is an additional cost that you have to do. Oh, another thought I had about this box system is as the pencils get shorter, as you use them, the middle row and the back row, those pencils are going to get lost. They're going to be so far down that it will be hard to pull them out. So that's my recommendation if you own these pencils is, and you're really loving them, is to invest in a nice case for them so that you don't have to fiddle with this box. I think it's kind of a fail, in my opinion. I like the idea of trying something new, and I acknowledge that that's what they were doing, but in my opinion, I think a zipper case would have just been a lot better. So comment below if you own these pencils. Do you like the box, or did you take them straight out of the box and get them into a case? I'd like to know how you're using your pencils and how much, if you're just in love with them, and what are the things that you don't like about them. Comment below and help out our community with your feelings and thoughts on these pencils. So my initial first impressions of the pencils is that they are a good hobby level China brand color pencil set with a good amount of colors and decent quality as far as centered pencils and easy to sharpen. So if you've already purchased them and you feel like, you know, you love them, I can see why. If I was to give you a recommendation whether to purchase them or not, don't purchase them for the cool box, because if you're like me, you're going to want to get rid of that box right away. Purchase them for the feel and the quality, which is decent. It's not like the best pencil I've ever used, but they're also a very budget-friendly price at $28.55 for the full set. That's just 23 cents per pencil. That's a really good budget price for a nice hobby level type of color pencil. And these would be a pencil I would feel really good about sharing with like a niece or a nephew that's learning art and they want to try a nice quality type pencil, but I don't want to give them some of my really expensive pencils. This would be a set that I would reach for and see if they enjoy using it. So I want to thank everyone for watching the video. Make sure you hit a thumbs up. It really does support our channel, and I'm really trying to get our channel to 100,000 subscribers in 2024. That's my big goal, so if you could help me out with that, that would be great. And like I said, comment below if you own the Arrtx pencils, and I would love to hear your opinion on them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the swatching and the testing, and I hope you learned a little bit more about color pencils. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye. Come back. You have things to do. Yeah, sometimes a dog has things to do. I know you need a treat for coming back. That's a definite thing. All right, and hopefully you'll lay down and relax so we can enjoy some swatching. Do you want to see an Arrtx pencil? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, let's do some swatching.